This is Brendan O'Neill with Fuel for Sport Performance Institute. And in this video, what we're going to address is a sway back posture, which a lot of times will be associated with the feet turning out and the knees rolling out as well. But when you're looking at a sway back, it's a lot like the posterior pelvic tilt with the hips tucked under, having tight glutes and hamstrings, tight lower abdominals, long weak hip flexors, and a long weak back. But what makes this actually a sway is when the hip flexors become overly too weak, the pelvis shifts forward in front of the midline or the ankles. So we not only have just weak hip flexors and quads, but excessively long weak hip flexors and quads that sometimes won't activate properly. So what we want to do to start with this, or correcting this imbalance, is start stretching out the tight muscles, which are going to be the hamstrings and glutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start with probably the tighter muscle, which would be the hamstrings. Now, one of my favorite stretches for this is just a lying hamstring stretch. And when you do this, you're going to want to get a towel and you're going to roll it up to where when it's fully rolled and smashed, it's about as thick as the fattest part of your hand. And what you're going to do with this, you're going to put it under the lower back to help give you that lumbar curve that you should naturally have while stretching your hamstrings. So what we do is we're going to lie on the floor. We're going to put this directly under your belly button. Your belly button sits directly over the center of your lower spine, so as long as you're under your belly button, you're in the center of your lower back. From here, we'll go ahead and take a stretching strap. Now, this is a specific stretch for stretching. You can use a rope, you can use a belt, or you can use a long dog leash if you have one. From here, put it over the ball of the foot or the top of the foot. You want to drop the leg away from you to extend the knee straight, and then we're going to pull that foot towards you to start engaging that stretch through the calf and the hamstring. From here, to increase the stretch, you're just going to slightly pull that foot up towards you or extend the leg up as perpendicular as you can get it to your body. Okay, so the variations, you can pull on the foot a little bit more towards the chin. You can actually pull the pinky toe down towards you a little bit, or you can actually roll the ankle the opposite way. A slight other variation is pulling the leg across the body to get that stretch to work up the back of the hamstrings up into your hip. Again, to increase the stretch, work on rotating the ankle around. Usually you'll feel more of a stretch if you pull the pinky toe down. So this is a lying hamstring stretch, usually 20 or 30 seconds per leg. And you can do all on one side and then rotate the other leg, or you can alternate from side to side. So another stretch that you can do for your hamstrings that I like to have my athletes work on is a seated ball stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a Swiss ball here. You want to go ahead and set towards the front of the ball. You want to have your knees at a 90-degree bend, and you're going to lift your toes up so you're on your heels. From here, I want to keep your chest nice and tall and stick your butt out so you can get a nice neutral spinal alignment. With the belly button slightly drawn in, keeping your chest up, you're going to push through the heels, extending the hip back, and straighten the legs out as far as you comfortably can, getting a good pull through the hamstrings all the way down into your calf. Now the key thing is keeping your back in a neutral alignment here. We don't want to round the back as we push the ball back. We want to sit up nice and tall. So to increase this stretch, we will actually just tilt forward at the pelvis, which you can do by reaching your hands down your leg or reaching for your toes. Before you start your strengthening exercises, you need to start with the stretching exercises first, because before you strengthen the long, weak muscles, you have to loosen up the short, tight muscles. If you don't do that, and you just start strengthening the short, weak muscles, or the long, weak muscles, you're going to create more torque in that joint. So what we want to do is loosen those tight muscles up first, and now we can start strengthening. So some of the best strengthening exercises for the quads are going to be proper squatting techniques, proper lunging techniques, a lot of single leg techniques. Standing. But a good one you can do with a ball that works not only the quads but the long weak hip flexors is a ball jackknife. So here's how we do this exercise. The setup is a push-up position, feet flat on the ball. Okay, we want to get the back in a nice neutral alignment, shoulders down and back, so we don't want to be overly rounded. We want to keep our butt stuck out a little bit, maintaining our neutral alignment. Knees are locked. From here, without rounding the back, we're going to draw the knees in underneath the pelvis. Again, maintaining alignment. We're not losing our alignment of the spine. Extending back out, locking those knees. We don't want to stay soft knees. Fully engage those quads on the way back out. Abs are drawn in, knees underneath the hips. Back out, lock those legs. One more for you. Back in, out, lock. Now as you become more advanced, the hip flexors and quads are meant to work independently. So then you start working on a single leg jackknife. Nice good form, maintaining nice neutral spinal alignment. That's the ball jackknife. It's a great exercise technique. Not only works your core and the upper body to hold itself in place, but actively works the hip flexors and quads to work together to help strengthen themselves. Thank you for watching. This is Brendan O'Neill with Fuel for Sport Performance Institute.